exploded in February last year, the US and Europe said, okay, all worlds aligned against Russian aggression. Well, actually, it wasn't like that. The vast majority of the world's governments said, stop the fighting. We don't take sides. We don't join your sanctions. We don't view this as a one-sided affair. China, for example, very responsibly said, negotiate, but respect the security interests of all sides. What that meant was the NATO question. And around the globe, most governments did not impose sanctions on Russia. They said, we want to end the war. We are neither Russia haters nor Ukraine haters. We want the two sides to negotiate. So, practically speaking, China, Brazil, India, South Africa, the so-called BRICS countries, together with Russia, those countries are major voices for peace and negotiation, and they should continue to say very clearly that their vision is not to side with one side or the other side, but to side with negotiation and peace. And India has a special role to play. Not only is it a great country and a civilization of 1.4 billion people, but it's the presidency of the G20 this year. And so India has plenty of opportunity to push hard for peace and negotiations. Brazil will host the G20 next year. President Lula is very clear that what is needed right now is not military victory on the battlefield. This is a reckless illusion. What is needed is negotiations and an end to the NATO enlargement. And Brazil will be president of the G20 next year. South Africa, which has said the same, to be president of the G20 in 2025. So I believe that these countries have a huge role to play. I think the African Union should make a strong statement that Africa is being endangered by this war. Africa views this war as a tragedy and an unnecessary one, and as a solvable one as well. So the African Union, I believe, should stand up and be clear. This is the time for peace and for negotiations. Turkey, in my mind, gets a special commendation because President Erdogan has worked very hard during the past year. His very skillful foreign ministry has worked hard to try to mediate between the two sides. It's not easy to do, but of course Turkey knows the Black Sea area very well indeed, and it should be able to play a very important role. But I would say there's not a government in the world that can't contribute to the momentum of demand for negotiations. I say to the big powers, we do not agree with the approach of winning on the battlefield, because that endangers the whole world. Of course, first and foremost Ukraine, but actually the entire world with nuclear war. And we demand, therefore, a negotiation? No. How could they even think to send tanks right now without even mentioning the word negotiations? Shame on them. Shame. This is definitely in part the corruption of our political processes. I can speak about the United States. The U.S. is a government for hire. Our political system is organized around campaign contributions, where lobbyists and major campaign contributors spend billions of dollars, and by doing so, essentially buy the policies of the U.S. government. And I have no doubt that the big campaign contributors have played a role in this war. And because what I can tell you is, this is not a war that is popular among the U.S. public or these neocon ideas either popular or